I have the wine in my blood.
Full-bodied, elegant.
Great wines.
Can't argue with that one.
Abruzzo is the best region of the temperature, latitude, and the sea.
Red, intense red, and cherry.
Rich tannins and powerful.
That's 3 words, but I'll let you have that.
Biodiversity and nature.
Lovely, powerful, energetic, gorgeous, puissance.
I am here with Luisa Rutolo. Did I get that right?
Yes, correctly.
And the name of the winery?
Famiglia De Cerchio.
And your boss who's standing right next to us.
Yeah, it's Federido De Cerchio.
We're going to be talking with Federico in a few minutes, but what is your job at the winery?
So basically I'm the export manager, so I'm dealing with everything related to export and logistics as well for all our estates, because we are a wine group with 3 states, 2 in Abruzzo and 1 in Puglia.
Are you exporting wines to the U.S.?
Yes, at the moment we are exporting in different states in the U.S.
About how many cases roughly, do you know?
Well, last year we have bottled in general 700,000 bottles. So for this year we are trying to reach the 1 million bottle.
Well done, Luisa. Thank you very much.
You're more than welcome.
All right, more on the wines of Abruzzo, and I am here with
Federido De Cherchio, owner of Famiglia De Cherchio Wine Group.
What makes the wines of Abruzzo so special?
Well, I mean, there is not just one Abruzzo, but there are several Abruzzo. So I can talk about our area. We are located in the central part of the region, facing at the seaside. The thing that makes the wines of our area unique is the balance of power and elegance. Because generally Abruzzo wines are very famous for being powerful wines, body, big tannins. But due to the particular characteristic of our area, that is near Villa Magna, we can find very elegant wines.
And how long have you been making wine?
I've been making my wine since 2013, 2012 when I finished the university. But my family started working in the wine industry since 1910.
For our listeners who want to learn about you online, what is your website?
Famigliadecerchio.it.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
My name is Rafiella Chilantano.
And the winery is?
Cascina Del Colle.
So how long have you been working with the winery?
Maybe 25 years.
What makes Abruzzo wine special?
Yes, because it's more fresh. The Abruzzo wine is, for the red wine, is really complex wine, but in the same time is really elegant. It's a wine for not only for eat, but also for only drink or talk, for meditation. It's a really good wine.
In 2 words, how would you describe the wines of Abruzzo?
The best.
That was way too easy. For our listeners who want to know how to find out about you online, what is your website?
My website is www.lacascinadelcolle.it. Thank you.
My name is Alessio Donofrio. I'm the boss of Cascina Del Colle.
What is it for you that makes the wines of Abruzzo special?
Yes, Villa Magna DOC is our special wine of the wine of our farm, and Montepulciano is the king of the wine in Abruzzo.
And for our listeners, what is your website?
Lacascinadelcolle.it.
Done.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm here with one of our hosts last night.
My name is Ilaria, and I work for Marchesi De Cordano. It's a winery in Abruzzo.
What's your position at the winery? What do you do?
I am the export manager, Europe, United States specifically.
What makes this area so special?
I think that the position of the vineyards and also the end of the vineyards. We are in Villa Magna, a very small DOC in Abruzzo, and special because we harvest the grape
at the end of October, at the beginning of November for this Reserva. So this is special for the maturation, and then with the passage and maturation in barrique. DOC, Villa Magna DOC is a denomination of quality wine in Italy. So DOC is the most important quality wine. This is the denomination.
And for our listeners who want to find out about you online, what is your website?
The website is cordano.it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And your name is?
Katya, Masci,
And the name of the winery?
Valle Martello from Villa Magna.
What makes the wines of Abruzzo special?
In general, wines of Abruzzo are with a particular location, of course, which is this location between the sea and the mountain, and the ventilation, the breezes that come from the Adriatic Sea and from the mountains that encounter, especially in our territory in Villa Magna, where there is this beautiful little village expressing a particular appellation called Villa Magna DOC.
And what wines are you pouring today?
We make the other reds is of course Montepulciano d'Abruzzo. We have also Cococciola, which is an indigenous white grape, Pecorino as well, Passerina, and we make a rosé which comes from Montepulciano d'Abruzzo.
For our listeners who'd like to learn about you online, what is your website?
It's www.vallemartello.it.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
My name is Stefania Pepe, and I'm the owner of a small winery in Abruzzo that is called Stefania Pepe. Not Emilio Pepe. Emilio Pepe is my father. I am Stefania Pepe, the daughter. The daughter, they say the black sheep, because I wanted to create my own winery by myself without asking anything to him.
Why does it make you the black sheep?
Because I say always the truth, and when I want to do something, I go until the end to do what I want. I do not stop. I do not love compromise. If I have to do organic, biodynamic 100%, I do it. And for that, we have the certification in USA, 100% organic, because I do not add anything to the wine.
So therefore it makes a better wine.
Oh yes, to have the purity is important. When you want to do something, you have to do it.
What makes the wines of Abruzzo special?
Because of the weather, because of the Montepulciano d'Abruzzo, we can make so many different wines. With Montepulciano grapes, I have 3 vineyards, and I make one rosé, one red Pepe Rosso, the rosé Pepe Rosa, red Pepe Rosso, and the black, I have a black sheep. The black is this one, the revolutionary one, Pepe Nero, that is made using always Montepulciano d'Abruzzo, but in special lot where we create the DOCG. And we have a smaller quantity. We decimate by hand. We let them ferment in wood tank, 1 year in wood tank, and then in concrete bag, and then in bottle. It will live forever.
What is your website?
Montepulciano d'Abruzzo.it. That is my website because I started creating my own wine when I was 4 years old. I have the wine in my blood, so I decided to create it, and I decided as soon as I get to the website, I said I want it Montepulciano d'Abruzzo.it. That is my love.
Thank you very much.
We will wait for you. Ciao.
I'm here with Julia Coney, and Julia is a journalist.
Yes.
And I'm going to also call you a wine educator, which I think is very fair to say. Is that right?
True. I'm also a wine educator and I'm wine consultant for American Airlines.
Well, that's not a bad gig.
Not a bad gig at all. I mean, I get to watch people enjoy wines in lounges, planes, trains, in automobiles. It's like a joke, I say. But it's actually fun, and it's interesting because you realize the volume of wine on planes. I never realized that until I actually had the job.
Well, you know, one of the things we talked about is that the goal of our podcast is making wine less scary. So in a relatively reasonable amount of time, that's a terrible way to put it. Tell me how you go about disarming people.
I actually pair wines with everyday food, so I always ask people what you're eating. And I don't mean what you're eating out when you have a special meal, a birthday or anniversary. I mean every day at your home. It could be Chipotle, Burger King, McDonald's, Taco Bell, any kind of fast casual food and fast food. I want to make wine accessible, and what you eat is how you, and also how you enjoy wine. That's the best way to do it, because wine and food go together. That's it.
That's pretty cool. And what's really cool is that you work out of both Washington, D.C. as well as Houston, two very big wine markets.
Two big wine markets, but very different cuisines. DC is international, Texas. A lot of people think of barbecue, but what I think of is Asian, actually, and Nigerian. Texas has the biggest Nigerian population outside of Nigeria, and we have something called Viet Cajun. We have a lot of Vietnamese who adopted the Creole style and Cajun cuisine from Louisiana. So I enjoy a lot of my wine with their food. So I eat a lot of Asian food, actually, in Texas, compared to like what most people think. Of course, I eat barbecue, but Tex-Mex, I'm telling you, Tex-Mex and wine, perfect pairing.
That's awesome. All right, now here's the tough part of your assignment today. It is in 2 words. How would you describe the wines of Abruzzo?
Very interesting, engaging, complex, with a great price point. Sorry, I couldn't do 2.
And if our listeners want to learn about you online, how would they find you?
I am social media at Julia Coney on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and you can go to my website, juliaconey.com.
And she is a online madness crazy maven. You do a great job. Julia, great meeting you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ray, for meeting me as well, meeting me and everyone here. I'm so happy because I get to meet people like you on these trips, and to me, it's like a wine friend for life.
And that's what it'll be. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
My name is Davide Acerra, and I work for the Consorzio for the promotion, for the international promotion.
And how long have you been doing that?
From 5 years.
Can you just briefly describe what the Consortium is?
The Consortium is the bigger association in Abruzzo and of all the producers of the region, a regional association which represents more or less more than 80% of the producers of Abruzzo. And it protects and promotes the wines from my region. In particular, Montepulciano d'Abruzzo DOC, Trebbiano d'Abruzzo, Cerasuolo d'Abruzzo, Abruzzo DOC and Villamagna DOC, and 7 indicational geographical typical.
So if you were to describe the wines of Abruzzo in 2 words, what would those words be?
When I think about Abruzzo wines, I think a great world of wines, because in Abruzzo we have many indigenous grapes. First of all, Montepulciano, that represents more or less 80% of the wines of my region. But in the last 20 years are growing very much the white indigenous grape like Pecorino, Passerina, Cococciolo and Montonico. And the last one, but is one of my favorite wine, is our rosé that is called Cerasuolo d'Abruzzo. It's a rosé wine, but it's a different rosé for the other ones. It's a wine that combined the freshness of the white wines together with the body and the structure of the red wines, all together. It's a gastronomic wines that you can compare with everything. In fact, in Abruzzo, we used to drink Cerasuolo with everything. Yeah.
That was good. Now I'm going to ask you to do it in 2 words.
Biodiversity and nature.
That was very good.
Because can you imagine that more than 30% of our territory is protected by 3 national parks, 1 regional park, and about 68 natural reserves. We are called in Europe like the green region of Europe, and I think that in this moment this characteristic it's something very, very important, because with the climate changing, the connection with the nature, it's the best thing.
So for our listeners who would like to learn about the Consortium online, what is your website?
The website is vinidabruzzo.com.
Excellent. Davide.
Our hashtag for the social media is hashtag Abruzzo Wines.
Grazie.
Thank you so much. And we are waiting in Abruzzo.